Cheers, radio.
Boom!
Yo.
We're back. Episode 82. We're back. I got another special guest in today.
Hey, what
my
up, guys?
buddy, Bayardo De Murguia.
Bayardo.
Dude, that is the most Mexican name, dude.
I know.
How do you, like, when you meet someone who doesn't speak Spanish or something, like, how do you say your name?
Now I'm a little bit more courteous, so I'm usually like, "Hi, what's your name?" You can just call me B. No, what's your real name?
Yeah.
Bayardo.
Yeah.
And they're like, Bernard.
Yeah.
That's why I said you can call me
Yeah.
B.
So you say, like, Bayardo.
Yeah, Bayardo. Hi, my name is Bayardo.
Do you ever say, do you say your last name like that? De Murguia?
No.
Bayardo De Murguia.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta say
Bayardo.
the last name, right?
Yeah,
But you're born in TJ, huh?
That was mine.
Do you know Octavio Pisano?
I do. I know. I've seen him around. in,
Yeah,
like, as
he
acting
was
stuff.
also born in TJ because you guys are both born in TJ.
Yeah.
That's what made me think. He was raised out there. You were raised in San Diego, right?
San Diego.
On the
Yeah.
side?
Yeah. We moved to the U.S. when we were probably about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. We moved to the U.S. when I was about 8 years old.
At 8 o'clock.
Yeah, at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Time to move.
Perfect time.
8 years old. You're 8 o'clock. You know what? Fuck
Yeah.
it. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
But it was nice. I have two older sisters, and they had more of a culture clash than I did because they were older. So for me,
they're a
moving
lot
at-
older.
Yeah, they were a couple years older. So they were already in middle school by the time we moved.
Yeah, that's
So for them, it was difficult, that transition and so forth.
Learning how to
And
speak English.
yeah, where I was raised a little bit more
No, go to
more
your bed.
gringo.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. You get to, because either way, you're at 8. If you're moving, you're still not. You're still a little kid. You don't want to give a shit.
Yeah.
You don't really have friendships that you've made too hard.
Yeah.
When'd you move to LA?
It's gonna be 9 years this year.
What was
Yeah.
the reason that you moved out to LA? Was it for?
So when I was in college is when I decided I started pursuing acting.
Yeah.
I played football for 2 years, and then I decided to just take acting class because it was something that always interested me. And then I ended up getting cast into play, and then after that it was just like,
Off to the
someone thinks I'm decent at this to be
Yeah.
casted.
And it feels good too,
yeah,
like, right? When you're,
yeah.
like, pretty good. And you're
Like,
like,
well,
all right. Yeah. Gives you a little more confidence. In
Yeah.
You know?
So after I graduated from college, I went to the University of San Diego. I decided to, I kind of just bartended for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna move to LA. I worked on a couple projects in San Diego, and
you
then
just made the
came up
leap
here.
one day, like, fuck it, huh?
Yeah, I was.
How long had you been doing it at that point? Like before when you moved to LA?
So let's see. Yeah, it's probably like 4 years.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it wasn't too bad.
Because you're not
4
too
years.
far either way. You can still make auditions. There's
Yeah.
some people who still like I've known.
Yeah, that's hard though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I've
But
made
now,
that drive
because like the era, for those listening who don't know, like now we're in an era of self tape. So a lot of auditions, like you
just do it at home.
you just you send
Yeah.
it, you record it
Yeah.
at home, and which is kind of
Yeah.
bullshit. Like I
Yeah.
want a fucking fee. You're
Yeah.
saving a lot of money.
But
all right?
in that
You
in
don't
that
have to pay
instance,
the casting
like
director.
with self tapes is good, but if you haven't really established anything or have rapport,
Yeah.
then that's difficult because it's like But again, it's great.
It's like
though.
anything. It's like nobody wants to give you your first job.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And they're like, "Well, give me something on your resume." It's like,
Yeah.
"Well, fuck, give me an opportunity."
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
So it's kind of like that never really goes away. Damn, yeah, that's kind of cool, man. So you moved out here 6 years ago, right?
9 years ago.
9 years ago? Damn.
man.
It's been a
9
minute,
years.
man.
It wasn't until 2014 that I started going out theatrically. So that's been 5
You're doing
years.
a lot of commercials and stuff. before?
Commercials before.
You still doing?
Yeah, still doing
Yeah.
that.
Same. Oh yeah, we have we have the same voice agent.
Always hustling.
Yeah, we're always talking about it. I'm like, you do have a cool ass voice though.
Oh, thanks. Man.
Yeah, you just like what were you doing? You were doing a lot of ads recently for something, right?
So a couple years ago, I did a campaign for Kia.
That's right.
the
I did
car-
Kia.
Yeah, I like Kia. And
Oh yeah,
then-
but you were doing just a lot of voiceovers at one point. Right?
Yeah, it was. I had a couple great
Crazy.
years, and then
Sweet
now,
gig.
yeah, this year has been a little bit more of everything, and I've accepted that certain years are busier with voiceover, other years are busier with theatrical commercials, whatever.
Either way, but something
The
comes.
goal is to have them all,
Yeah, dude.
all cylinders firing at the
That's
same
the way
time.
I tell
man.
like people, because some people are like, I don't do commercials. I'm like, why the fuck not, dude? Like it's
Yeah.
for me, it's like when there's a lull. Like luckily, something else picks up. Either it's
Yeah.
voiceover, or
Yeah.
commercial, or theatrical.
Yeah.
Something's popping
Yeah,
up.
and that gives you the opportunity to always be learning. You know,
And
what I'm
also
saying? It's
financially, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
financially
you're
it's great.
so much better if you're
Yeah.
doing a commercial and. When there's nothing going on theatrically, at least you got
Yeah.
some commercials that are
Yeah,
paying your
yeah,
bills.
man. Exactly. Paying bills, giving you health insurance, it's good.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. And also, we got dope ass health insurance. You know?
Yeah, I agree. But and the whole thing is
So you don't think about
it stops you from waiting because you're busy. You have different mediums, and each different thing is its own beast.
Yeah.
But it makes you
And their
better.
own it's its own art.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, because there's some dope ass actors who can't do commercial for shit. And there's,
Yeah.
you know, there's really good commercial actors who can't do a movie to save their fucking life.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Yeah, and having the advantage of being bilingual is a big thing too, because then you learn
Yeah.
in both languages.
Definitely.
It's like, you
That's a
know.
big money maker for me, you know.
Yeah.
You always
Yeah.
do like these campaigns where you do
Yeah.
Spanish.
Not
language.
everyone can improv in Spanish.
No.
It's-
You know, I'm fucking around. Usually you do it with your friends, and they're like, nah, no manches, güey. Estás cabrón, gal.
Yeah. It's so funny.
That's cool, man. But you've been you moved out here 9 years ago and shit. And what do you think has been like? You know, because you know how it goes. Like, if you're pursuing anything, you know, there's gonna be fucking moments where you hate this shit.
Yeah.
What's the thing that like kept you in the game?
Yeah.
You know, so long, because you know how many people come and go. Like, I've seen so many
man.
people come and go.
Yeah. It's like,
It's a rough go sometimes.
in addition to this, like, it's like I've been bartending around town for 9-10 years, and it's like you see the cycles of people come and go within a year, within the 2 years. You see a cycle of 3, and then all of a sudden people will move to another city and go back, you know, or people go home and do the same
Yeah.
thing. For me, you just always have to find, like, and I've heard this many times with other people, it's like you find your anchor and what keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
And that kind of is
What is it for you?
very big for me. Family, which is important, even though my family's in San Diego and I don't see them as often. I try to talk
Yeah.
to my parents like every couple days. And then I have friends outside of acting that, you know, have nothing to do with acting.
Yeah.
We can talk about movies and stuff,
Yeah.
but we just like to, you know, go do activities, get out of town, go, you know, go ride our motorcycles,
healthy to
go to the
have, dude.
beach. Yeah.
Dude, you
Go
ride a
go
motorcycle.
fight.
This guy rides a
Yeah.
fucking motorcycle
Yeah.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Dude, I just can't, man.
Yeah.
I love them. They're so cool. And
It's a beautiful thing, man. When I was 17, I told my parents, I was like, look, I like motorcycles. I've never ridden them, but I want to try to ride one. And what do you say, Mom and Dad? And my mom was like, mijo, I used to ride in Tijuana all the time. And I would still have my bike if your aunt, blah, 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 didn't, you know, crash it. And my dad would be like, yeah, I drove all the way from to Hermosillo to Mazatlan and back and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how come
hey,
you
man,
guys...
your parents are pioneers, bro.
And I looked at him, I was like, how come you guys never told me this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there's some things you don't need to know.
Yeah,
mijo."
it's
And
in
I'm-
your blood, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I was 18, I got myself a bike, and my main mode of transportation in San Diego was a motorcycle up until like 25. And then my bike got stolen one year, and
Oh, that's gotta suck.
I took the insurance money to like travel, and at that time when you're like in your early 20s, like a couple thousand is like $1 million.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
I'm rich.
yeah.
10
I'm gonna
days in Mexico.
travel the world. Yeah. And so then when I moved to LA, I didn't have a bike, but then a couple years later, I decided.
you got a
to
nice
do
one
that.
now.
Yeah, Indian Scout.
Id you have a car too?
I do. Yeah.
You never wrecked in a car?
Nah, not in a car. Yeah.
You're just a good driver. I just wrecked in a car a lot of times. So I'm like, dude, if I wrecked a lot in a car,
Yeah.
can't trust myself, bro.
Yeah.
Can't trust myself. I got hit by a truck. I was on
Yeah.
my bicycle. Can't trust myself. Dude, you know what I mean? Like,
Don't ride bird scooters. Then,
yeah,
man.
I do like those. Dude, I was just thinking about this, man. I was talking shit about those things. They're so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it because you know, you're on the street.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the bike lane or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing like a little bit of what a motorcycle's like.
Yeah. Bird and lime scooters are like,
Fun as fuck, dude. I was hating on them.
they're
for a
fun
little
as
bit.
fuck to ride, but then when you see people on them and you're walking, you hate them. You're like, fuck those people.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Fuck that shit.
It's fucking. It looks like Wally. You ever seen Wally?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
there's, like,
yeah.
people just scooting around and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you like, open up your own and
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like
Dude,
on
I
top of
love
the
it.
world, dude.
I went to the Stranger Things thing at the Santa Monica Pier yesterday. I guess it took over the I don't know. It was like some stupid thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that's cool, man. That having an anchor is I don't know, dude. Like I feel like the longer you stay in the game, like the longer you realize, like you're just gonna have to love something in order to do it. Otherwise,
You always have to remind yourself why we're doing this.
Could you see yourself doing anything else?
Nah, man. Yeah.
That's what I look at.
Yeah.
That's what I think about because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what the fuck would Plan B be?
Yeah. Like I came to LA and like at home, like I created LA is now my home. It is
Yeah,
my home.
yeah.
So like a lot of times if people are like, oh no, if things don't work well, I'll just move back home and I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
You
And
gotta-
for
you
me,
gotta
I came
decide.
here and I didn't have a home to go to. So it was like you have to make it your home out of necessity
Mm-hmm.
instead of like thinking like, oh, if things don't happen, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no.
You're giving yourself 1 foot out of the door already.
Exactly. So
You know?
you got to go with a mindset that says, no, it's going to happen and we're going to make it happen.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And thankfully, as the years got on, more opportunities come and you just got to keep working hard. And especially, I say this a lot too with the bar industry. It's like there's a lot of people that that work in the bar industry, work in hospitality, work in, you know, that area, and like that life in itself. And not just hospitality, but just earning a living in general.
Yeah.
That can consume you.
Like working class.
Yeah, it just consumes you because a lot of times we're worried about like, oh, we got to pay our bills. Oh, I'm broke. I got to do this. I got to do this. How can I make more money?
Doing shit.
Exactly. And so as long as you can find a nice balance, you know, and like,
I mean, you know, honestly, I think a lot of times I think it's just a loss in sight of direction because, you know, like when you have like a job like that and you're hustling, I remember like, you know, doing different. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I've had like other gigs and like, you know, I'm the type of person that I get consumed by the things I'm doing. Like no matter what it is, I'm not very good at compartmentalizing. It kind of bleeds into other areas of my life. Yeah. So the only other thing that, you know, takes up my time other than this is music, and or I even teaching. I teach kids at an after school program. How to play drums and stuff. But it's like, other than that, you know, I couldn't really see myself in another environment. And I see that's why people, when you know they're working in hospitality or any like I said, a working class, right?
Yeah.
Having a 7-8 hour shift on your feet, dude. Like you didn't have to do a self tape after that. At night.
And try to eat right. And try to go to the gym.
Bro.
And try to get a haircut and look decent.
And you got a commercial audition in the morning. This one's due in the morning too. That's kind of how it goes. This is such a weird, like it's so weird. It's a weird like understanding to have. Like if you're like, oh my god, I gotta do a self tape. My agent needs me to send it in by 10 a.m. Right. And you're like, I have to go to an audition for a commercial at 11 a.m. and I got to work out in the morning. And I'm getting home from this, you know, for you, like this bartending shift at, you know, 11, 12, you know, 1 a.m. or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, man.
You know.
But again, it's a life we chose, life we choose. And that's like, I accept it, you know. So that's what gives me the inspiration to keep working hard, you know. And eventually things do pay off, which is a good thing. But there are those moments where you're
Speaking
just
of
like...
which, yeah, you just booked the pilot or show, right? It's not the pilot, it's the whole show.
I booked 2 this year. The first one was Hombre, which I worked with Gal Garcia Bernal and Jonas Cuaron.
So that was the pilot.
That was a pilot for Showtime.
And then, so that's they're still up in the air.
As of right now, it's still up in the air. It's a great story.
What's that about?
It's really cool.
Or have they put out anything on it?
Yeah, they have. Well, they have been like press releases, so it's like, you know, I could talk about it or whatever. So basically, it's about 2 undocumented immigrants that come to the U.S. It's a husband and a wife. They have a child here who's an American citizen, I believe.
Hashtag anchor baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm one of them.
And then at one point, you know, he's just a father working hard, trying to have a good relationship with his fam, and then all of a sudden, his wife gets taken by ICE. And so she gets taken, and
it's a perfect time for this too.
Yeah, exactly. Very timely.
Yeah.
So she gets taken. She gets put in a detention center, and then he's trying to figure out what he can do. And by chance, at some point, he ends up having the opportunity to take over an ICE agent's identity. Yeah. So he becomes an ICE agent. Oh, shit. Yeah, and it's cool. It's very timely. It's very powerful. It's like, it was written and directed by.
So you already shot that?
Yeah, that's already shot.
And you guys shot that where?
We shot that actually around this area, man.
No shit. Yeah, that's cool. You guys shot that here in the valley.
Yeah, here in the valley. Here, mostly in the valley, Bull Heights, a couple other places. And I really think it has a very strong, possibility of getting picked up.
For sure,
show's
dude.
Gonna be great.
Both of them, Gael Garcia, and did you say Diego Luna?
No, Gael Garcia and then Alfonso Cuarón's son, Jonas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good and really fun to work with, and also very diverse cast, diverse team from all over the place. It was so
that's
cool,
fucking
man.
cool. It's for Showtime?
For Showtime, yeah.
That's what's cool too, man. There's so many different man, it's never been a good time, like a better time to be a creative, especially a creative of any particular culture. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
It sucked dick for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Like the shit you know how it is. We would all go out, we'd all audition. That's what's crazy. Like we all see each other, here and there. We'll auditioning for something. It's like Latino man, so they call all the Latinos. We're all there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're here, guys. Yeah, we got. And it was crazy, man, because representation does matter a lot, especially now having more opportunities. But we're far beyond where we should be. But I remember being a kid and not having anyone Latino on TV until I see one person. And I'm like, yeah. And even though it could have probably most likely was a gangbanger or a cartel dude or something like that. Yeah. I still was happy to see something. Someone that spoke Spanish. Someone that did this.
Some type of
on mainstream television.
Just being like, that's cool that somebody's on TV that kind of looks like me. You know what I mean? even if they're a bad guy. Like that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
One of my favorite shows that I used to watch as a kid that I think they're now rebooting. Actually, where your buddy was in Octavio, New York Undercover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time that I saw Malik Yoba, and then
Yeah.
I forgot the other dude, the Puerto Rican dude, I think he is, as two leads that are of color, you know, which was amazing. And I was
But it's
amazed.
also true to like New York.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And I was amazed. I would love watching the show just because I was watching like people getting represented on TV, you know, and it was, what was it, on Fox or something, or whatever it was on. And that was like awesome. And then now it's really nice to see that being more spread out and like all kinds of Latinos, you know, and it's nice too, just seeing more diversity in writers' rooms and all that. And because then, you know, the story's being authentic.
Yeah,
Instead
you
of,
can see it in the writing. The writing's getting so much better, dude.
because as an actor, we've gone into auditions when you know the person they
writing
want
the
you to
shit.
be Latino and they
dude.
want whatever that means to them, but the person writing it could be a Caucasian person
man.
from, you know, Portland. I don't know.
Shout out to Portland. I like Portland.
Shout out
man.
to Portland. Love Portland.
Yeah.
It's a great city.
Good
Good
coffee.
bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? And then so like then, you know, the casting director's trying to facilitate their idea of what they think it is, and you go in, you know, and you're
With
like,
a completely different idea of what you think it is.
Yeah.
Even though you know it better.
Yeah, you're like, oh, excuse me. The character says, you know, they're born in Tijuana but raised in San Diego, and that's me.
Yeah.
So
I'm exactly this guy.
this is me.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, but you know, can you just speak in a,
Can you just throw like essay
you know,
in there every now and then?
you know, the idea of what others might think what Latinos are.
Not me. Not me.
Yeah.
But others.
Yeah.
Let's just, you know.
That's just, you know.
The spitball ideas here. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get your best take out of you.
Yeah, but now it's great because, you know, and especially for me in auditions, I've seen a different wave because, like, you know, I don't have an accent. I was born in Mexico. It's fine. But, like,
It's
now
also
I
an
can
advantage,
be
dude.
myself.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
and sometimes with auditions, like, I'll, like, run it with, you know, my fiance, and then I'll be like, hey, how'd I do? How was it? She's like, you sound great. I was like, so do I sound Mexican enough? Like, am I Mexican enough? She's like, you are Mexican, idiot. Like, what are you talking about? You don't have to try to be Mexican. You are Mexican. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you forget about it.
Yeah.
They fuck you up, man.
Yeah, you
Hollywood
forget
fucks
about
you
that
up,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my
yeah.
bad. I forgot. I was trying to put the Mexican on, but I already got it.
Yeah. Oh,
It's in my blood.
on a scale of 1 through 10?
Yeah.
What do you... Yeah.
So you think I'm Mexican? So
Yeah.
you start. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah, it's a good. It's just a beautiful time to be a creative. I think, man. It's never been a better time. And then and you're taking off to Toronto, right?
Yeah, I'm taking out
When
Toronto.
when are you leaving?
Late July.
Oh, shit,
So
okay.
there is...
Oh, what a perfect time, dude. You could probably take a vacation right before it.
Yeah, I've been... This whole month is going to be like getting stuff organized and then just chilling.
You're gonna be out there for a while, no?
Yeah. So I'm going until around December. Working on a Netflix show. It is picked up for a season so far, 10 episodes, and
Beautiful.
it's based on a book called Tiny Pretty Things. Adapted from a book, which is an awesome book. It's a young adult book, but it's pretty cool because it's like it revolves around what happens at a prestigious ballet academy, and the book itself, each chapter is written from a different perspective. So it could be a different girl, you know, that you're reading in their perspective, and then all of a sudden, you know, an event happens and you don't know who to believe because stakes get higher. Everyone backstabs each other.
Yeah.
It's described as Black Swan meets Pretty Little Liars. So it's cool, man.
Fuck yeah.
And so I play Ramona Costa, who's one of the dance instructors.
Talk about being a good time to be a creative. Like, who the fuck would have thought?
Yeah.
You would be, or the day would come where this Mexican dude,
gets the opportunity to be a ballet instructor. Hey,
you know?
Yeah, it's good, man. You know,
what was your thought like even going into that? Was that a self tape or was it?
So I got pinned off a self tape first.
Beautiful. For those who don't know what that means, it's like they'll you send in your self tapes, you film your audition, and you send a tape, and then your agents, your managers, whatever, find it in, and then when they pin you, means you're on a goddamn cork board. They literally have your picture in the pin.
They do.
You
Exactly. And what that means is like, hey, you're one of our favorites, you know, and or you're one of the favorites, and so
My faves.
yeah, just make sure, are you available? Hell yeah, I'm always available. You don't have to ask me that anytime.
Narco said that to me. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll make time.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitch. I was paying for that.
So yeah, dude,
Yeah.
you're gonna be on the show.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got pinned off the self tape, which was good. And then I went in to meet the creative team, and it was really cool. But like, even during the self tape process, because I'm so used to playing law enforcement or cartel type people, like whatever. Even during the self tape process,
dude.
I had my doubts. I was like,
Always, man.
yeah. I mean, there's elements of myself within this character that I loved, and I was like, dude, I could do this.
Yeah.
But I still had my doubts because I'm like, you know, young adult book. They want some CW cats that are like really good, really good looking. You know, and
How
like
is abs so shiny?
yeah, exactly. And so you know,
I smell like mezcal, bro.
yeah, exactly, man. I don't know if they could take me. And so I started, you know, doing self tape with Gabby
And some sit-ups.
Yeah, and you know, it was 3 scenes and so forth, and I did the first scene, and I'm like, whatever, let's just get this over with. And she's like, babe, I really see you as this character. Like, are you taking this seriously? I was like, yeah, I'm taking this seriously. He's probably going to go to some very handsome guy taller than me. Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah. And that's okay.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings. But she's like,
she's just do this so I can drink away my fucking doubts.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, no. She's like, I actually see you doing this. I was like, all right, well, you know what? Let's have some fun. And lately that's the biggest thing I've been teaching myself, to let go.
Yeah, like have the fun.
To let go, enjoy yourself, don't think too much, but fucking prepare and really do the work.
It's so much more funner, dude. Yeah. When you're just like with no expectation, you're like, let's just have some fucking fun.
Yeah, and do the work and do everything. There was a movie with Antonio Banderas called Take the Lead that I liked when I was in college, and he was like this like suave guy who goes into the urban school and teaches them how to ballroom dance, you know. And it was within the like time frame of like
those are the parts where we're all going out. Man.
Yeah. And I was like, I channeled that. I saw Black Swan, which is an amazing movie. I saw like
that scene with Mila Kunis. And,
yeah,
dude.
We will all remember that forever.
Shout out to Black Swan.
Exactly. So channeled all that, and then all of a sudden, you know, we had a great tape, and then once I met the creative team, you know, it was really cool, and then shortly after, it's like, yo, you're still pinned. Hey, you're the choice.
When they said you're still pinned, what are you thinking then? After when you're pinned, you're like, oh shit. Yeah. What was the real?
When they said you're still pinned, the mindset was like, oh wow, this is actually becoming a little bit more, you know, more possible. You know, not like me when I get pinned, it's always a great feeling, but it's also like, you know what, I'll still have to work hard. I'm just gonna act like nothing's happened.
That's really
don't think about it too much.
It comes from fucking years of being
rejected, and then you've been released.
Well, you're like, I'm not gonna get excited. For me, I'm always like, I'm not excited until I'm on the fucking set filming. Dude.
Yeah, you know exactly. I mean? And people are saying,
even then, because you don't know.
Oh yeah,
I should have never saw the light of day.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I worked on stuff where all of a sudden you are not working on it anymore, and they're just saying, I decided to go a different way. Thank you so much. We're gonna pay you for this, but thank you.
Money's nice, but your fucking soul is crushed.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And you know, I do believe things happen for a reason.
Absolutely, it forces you to become better. That's at least what I feel. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I'm at a point where I'm like, you know, if I would have just gotten everything that I ever wanted, like I thought I wanted it, like it wouldn't have forced me to, you know, get the education and seek the mentors and get the you know, the representation.
Yeah. And in this day and age, for me, especially as an actor, like it took me years to tell people, like, oh yeah, I'm an actor. You know, I would tell people that I'm a bartender.
It was such a weird thing to like.
Yeah.
For me, for the first few years. Because it also comes off a little fucking weird.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, dude, I'm an actor, and they're like, really? Like, what do you do? I'm like, I do a lot of commercials, do a lot of voiceover. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I've always been, especially now with social media, there's always, you know, lives that are shown on social media that people would think, oh my God, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I've always been raised on like, you have to deserve it. You have to work your ass off for something. And then once you have something cool, you might be able to help others and talk about that and inspire others. Oh yeah. But if you ain't got shit, don't inspire anybody. Shut the fuck up and like go get a job. You know?
Come back when you figure it out, you lazy bum.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. And so that's why like it took me years to be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm an actor. And it's like now where I feel like I've got a decent body of work and I have to even work harder to continue.
Absolutely. Because now it's also like that comes with the price, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
man.
And a level of work. There's also a level of experience. Like you know, I feel like every time you do a little short film or a feature film or whatever, like every indie project or big project or whatever, like man, you take so many. I mean, at least for me, I'm learning so much every set that I'm on. You know, any project.
Man. And, I mean, we've all worked on shitty projects. We've all worked on great projects.
Or like, projects that you thought were shitty and ended up being amazing.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
And everything is going to teach you, you know? Everything's teaching you everything. And that's all we can do. I've always said, like, be a sponge, take from everybody. When people say, hey, what I just moved to LA. What kind of classes should I take? Should I take classes? Well, yeah. Who do you recommend? I was like, well, I can recommend a bunch of places, but also find what you like.
Yeah.
Don't stay at the same place for too long and just keep learning from everybody and ask questions.
I always see, like, it's fear. Change is always weird. I always get like a weird anxiety when there's like a change in anything, right? Whether it be like the place you're studying at or anytime, bro.
Yeah.
But I have like a nervous anxiety when I'm like, and I just jump into shit when it scares me. So, you know, I tend to do things that scare me out of like, I don't know, maybe almost like nervousness. Yeah. But I feel like most people, that's not their go-to. Most people are like, I'm just gonna do this forever.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel that's effective. You know, Einstein is famous for saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Expecting to get a different result. You know.
Yeah. It won't happen. Yeah, I completely agree, man. And
you gotta be able to adjust and set your sails and, you know, lick your wounds and be like, okay, how do I prevent that next time?
Yeah, man. You always have to be trying to progress forward and seeing like, and I have this metaphor with the bar industry because I've been doing it for a while. But it's like, you know, there's a lot of places I worked at that had a great run. You know, that was like. Yeah, I had 2 years there. Those were an amazing 2 years. But then on year 3, things started changing. People were moving, and I realized it was like time for me to learn something new somewhere else, or time for me to go anywhere else.
Yeah, it's kind of the universe's course of like.
Yeah, exactly.
With you. It gives you a lesson. Now go.
Yeah, exactly. And you just, as long as you're progressing forward, it's great. Because some people are also afraid of change. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So you might be doubting yourself and being like, oh, I don't know if I want to make the move to here. I want to make the move to this city and pursue this. I don't know. But all of a sudden, you spend 2 to 3 years thinking the same thing over and over, and you haven't done anything. Now we're getting older. It's
strange, dude, because I was just talking to my buddy Carlito about it. My buddy, he's on the podcast a few times, but he moved to Atlanta. He's like, oh, his show shoots out there, but they haven't even picked up for third season. I don't think they've been picked up yet. But he got rid of his apartment here. Yeah. And now it's like, he's like, I'm getting rid of my. I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy. Why don't you just why are you gonna? And he's like, I'm just gonna do this, and then because nothing was happening. He's like, so I'm going to go over there. Why am I going to waste my time here? Yeah. And now the whole city. It's like whenever you try to remove yourself from anything where they say like you want to book an airplane ticket.
Book a flight, book a flight, man.
As soon as you book a flight or you make plans for a vacation, all the auditions start. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I've experienced that so many times.
Dude, when you're like, okay, I just got to make sure that I don't film these days. Yeah. These 3 days in the year. You know what I mean? Yeah. And of course, those are the 3 days you book like, fuck.
Yeah. Hey, you got a callback and producers remember there?
I don't want this one though. Yeah. Okay, well you're getting it and it's a lot of money, so
it's
I don't go.
And that and another thing I do recommend too is like within that, being in the city, whatever city you are, making your living, being working class. It's like a lot of times too, as artists, you might be afraid to take those trips, but it's like book them, take a trip. Yeah. The first couple years, all I did was just work, and I might have missed a couple birthdays, going down to see my family, doing all that stuff, and I just realized, like, because I was too worried, like, oh, what if if I request off, I don't know if I'll still have this job, this and that, and it's like, that's the regrets that I've only had, is like, I should have taken those trips. I should have done this. I should have gone to my buddy's wedding, or like something like that. Because they're not.
Speaking of weddings, dude, I swear to God, I've referenced this fucking wedding on this podcast like 100 times. Hugo and Sophia's wedding, dude.
Amazing wedding,
dude. Yeah. That was such a crazy time.
Yeah.
Jumping in the caves, this fucking crazy guy.
It was very magical, and especially being in Yucatan and Mérida and all this, just being around and driving through the jungles, jumping in cenotes, doing all that. Dude. It was good.
We were getting pulled by this little like pretty fucked up old horse. He's pulling our carriage down these rail tracks. Yeah. Down the middle of the jungle. I'm like, what is this shit?
Yeah, man.
What's crazy is that like all the people you see on TV are filling up these fucking cars.
Yeah, exactly, man. And then, going back to the hotel and have it just being on the beach with a banda playing tunes and
eating and oh man, it was such a good time, man.
Yeah. It set the example for like any, hopefully one day I'll have something like that. And,
Where do you guys are engaged? You're engaged, right?
I'm engaged, yeah.
When did you get engaged?
We got engaged 2 years ago.
Congrats,
we're milking it out still.
Yeah. Fucking
we have the heavy conservative Mexican
family.
Yeah.
But at least you already got the fucking bookmark in there. Yeah. I started reading the book, all right?
Yeah.
I'm halfway through.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get to it.
Yeah. And like whenever la suegra is like, hey, ¿cuándo te vas a casar, mijo? Is it Gabby? Show her the ring. It's like
I spent the money already, all right? So I'm planning it. It takes
yeah. We're still planning.
Are you guys planning to do a destination wedding or?
We're going back and forth, man. Especially now having to move for a couple months. I mean, it changes the game, and you know, Gabby is also.
It also like probably provides a means of like provide.
Yeah, and
whatever
like
type of wedding you guys want.
You know, and here's the thing, like you're working thinking about another person, but at the same time, the other person is also an artist, so like you have to be respectful of their career and what they want to do and their independence, and like.
And she's a killer too. She cranks shit out.
Yeah, our commitment to each other is like you can't fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like she needs to pursue her stuff and all that. So now because Toronto is very close to New York, we've talked about that. If there is a longer future, like we could eventually see ourselves spending some time in there for her because there's more opportunity for her there.
Yeah. She shoots. She does her own thing, right? She's been doing her own.
Yeah, she produces her own web series called Latin Expert, latinexpert.com. And then also she writes for a Facebook channel, news channel.
Cool.
Yeah,
she's really smart.
It's called The Soapbox. It comes from a Berlin-based media company, but it's called Soapbox on Facebook. And so she talks about everything millennial-based.
Yeah, dude, it's such
for
a
those
time,
millennials,
dude. Yeah. I guess I don't even think it's millennials because I'm a millennial. It's what is it, 84 to?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 84 to like 90 or something.
Yeah,
like that,
and then
91.
after that, they don't exist.
No, there's generation like Z.
I hate them.
Generation.
All. No. Just kidding.
I fucking hate them all.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's just an interesting time, dude.
Yeah, man. Because I'm 83, so I sometimes side with millennialism, if that is a word, and then other times I'm just like, what the fuck,
dude?
Really?
Well, I just
because we're also immigrants, so it's like we come
because
from.
you don't have the luxury of complaining about things that
we,
sometimes people are complaining about, where you're like, all right, well, let's get things in perspective, huh?
Yeah. There's just things that I see that it's just like someone complains. And then people, like parents, will be like, "Oh, of course. What do you need, son?" Blah blah blah.
Eat a dick.
And then my experiences, my parents would pinch me and go, "A la verga, pinche niño, cállate la boca."
Shut the fuck up. You're embarrassing me. We're immigrants, bro. We're gonna get deported.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what you came from.
Si no te portas bien, te va a llevar esa señora ya. And then, that was the scariest thing.
I'm like, oh, I never wanted to go home. But I was like, oh, I used to hate that dude.
Vas a ir con los niños pobres.
Yeah.
What? No.
Te va a llevar ese hombre. Who the fuck is that guy? Why are you gonna give me away?
That was the scariest thing you could tell a Mexican kid, man, especially at a random McDonald's.
Dude. Because that motherfucker did look creepy. Not that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's just an interesting time, dude. Everybody has a voice now digitally, you know what I mean? Like, we're on social media. Yeah. Like, I don't believe in participation trophies. I don't believe in everybody's a winner. I don't, that's not life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and here's like, for me, the biggest thing about social media is just I don't really use Twitter much, but
I don't fuck with Twitter. I delete it off my phone.
Instagram I do like, but here's the thing: it's like
I
if you want to influence, do something to make people feel good about themselves, and not having it be selfish when it's like, look at me and look at what my life is about. I can influence. I just like.
But that's what it loves, though.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like that's the paradox that like there is a percentage of people that are using it to like influence good.
Yeah.
But they don't have 57 million followers.
Yeah.
Like the girl twerking, like, look at my booty twerk.
Yeah. It's
twerk.
the whole thing. I'm trying to grasp the idea.
Dude, it's such an interesting time because we again, like, never have women been so empowered.
Yeah.
Right. So much so.
Yeah.
That it completely 180s to that empowerment, feeding a girl being as crazy as she wants to be, and what's the word? Objectifying herself.
Yeah.
Quote
for validation.
For or financial even gains, right?
Yeah.
Financial gains, because these girls can make a lot of goddamn money on this Instagram.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you have both ends of it. Like, it made a 180, bro. Like, she's empowered because she's also doing it out of her own will. It's not like she's getting pinked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read something interesting today, actually on social media. A friend posted that I was like, if you ever have to say that you need to detox from social media, is it because you might be following people that aren't, you might think are influencers, but they're not really influencing, blah blah blah. So if you feel the need that you need to detox, think about who you're following too.
Yeah.
And I've done that before, where like I might be following someone, but it bothers me, but I still follow and like watch stuff. And then once I unfollow, then I'm like, I should have done that fucking 6 months ago.
Dude,
what the fuck?
Sometimes I feel bad about it, but I'm like, look. And it could just be it was sometimes not even related to Instagram, but every time I think about them, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I love you, but you represent a part of my life where you just kind of stayed there, and I feel sad when I look at you. Yeah. So I'm gonna unfollow you, dude. But I love you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you feel good, and you're like, why the fuck did I?
Or you know what I do now? If I'm like still fucking somebody, I'm like, oh, dude, I'll mute them. I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's a new cool feature. Man.
Yeah.
Let me just put you on ice.
That was an overheard LA quote. It's like, how you doing? Oh, I've been so good since I muted her, man. My life is just so much better.
Dude, that's what's crazy. Remember, did you see that episode of Black Mirror?
Which one?
Well, there was like social media, and you could like mute people.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
And essentially you can.
Yeah.
China's kind of doing that now. China's got that whole social media that's got like your credit in it, and it gives you like a reputation score.
Yeah. Damn.
We're going there, bro.
We're going there.
Get ready, bro.
Then we'll have that at bars where I can be like,
yeah, bro. Yeah, for real. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, man. That's exciting, dude. I'm happy for you, dude. It's such a like. It's a beautiful thing to hear when, like, you know, it's almost like, dude, like when you're out there, you know what I mean? Like we're all just out there, like, hey, you know, because you form connections with people, and you guys, you know, you share good times and stuff, and you guys are like, hey, man, you guys check in on each other periodically, and whenever any of us see each other, it's always like, oh, dude, it's like we haven't missed a beat, and then it's like how you doing, and then it's always beautiful to hear something like when something beautiful happens, like, oh, dude, I booked this thing and I got this other thing and I'm living here and doing this, and I'm like, oh, dude. Like that also changes the dynamic for everyone, you know what I mean? Because we're like, cool, like
and we talked about this before. Is that like sometimes when you go into the audition room, like especially the actors that have been in Los Angeles for over a period of time, we all know each other. You go to commercial auditions where it's Latinos, and it's just like everybody, you know, and it makes you feel good because everyone has that like feeling of like, well, if I don't get it and then he gets it, that's gonna make me very happy. And theatrically, when I used to be in the audition rooms, or when I, you know, still do, is that the problem that I had was, number one, first letting it go after the audition. That was one.
That was a tough one for me too.
Yeah, and then now once I got over it, it's fine. The other thing is
after enough heartbreaks, you become like a little like just dull.
You have the little callus over your heart. You're like, fine,
whatever.
The other thing that I had that I would do is cast it in my own head. So like, and that was a confidence thing.
Oh, you would look at somebody and be like, that person's probably gonna get it.
Yeah, or it was like you would either cast it in your own head where you look at people and be like, oh, they look more the part than I do. Blah blah blah.
I've done that too.
Yeah, or you see someone commercially for sure, and then theatrically you see someone you recognize on TV, especially if you're initially going out.
I used to hate that in the beginning, dude.
Yeah, and then you see someone, you're like, oh, fuck, that's so good. And
I loved them in that one thing.
Yeah, and then you get eye contact. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, how you doing?
Like, hey, dude, I like your work, man. You good?
Yeah, exactly. Or read the fucking sign-in sheet, and you see like someone that you recognize. You'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But then, you know, concentrate on your work.
Try to at least.
Exactly. And then slowly, as you know, you just fucking stick it out and like keep doing your thing. But how crazy is that
we create that, like, you know, all of us, we create that on
our own. We create our own anxiety. We create all that shit. It's fine.
Nothing
and again,
happens,
like
nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing happens. You know, it could be that person is recognizing you and being like, "Oh, I've seen this guy at auditions." Blah blah blah. And so, like, once we get over that, then
it frees you up creatively.
You don't, you know, you start not giving a shit, but giving a shit. You know, and then
you just giving a shit about doing something cool rather than the outcome of doing something cool.
You know? And, you know, trusting your preparation and having your confidence. And, like, so now I'm getting to a point where that doesn't happen. And, like, we were talking about this as well, is that now there might be a situation where I don't recognize anybody. And, you know, and it could be that all of a sudden you're the guy that people might recognize too. And it's like,
exactly.
And it's a beautiful thing to see just people slowly working more and more. And then
that's what's really cool, dude. When you even, you know, you don't really realize you become a thing like, oh, dude, every time I see you, I'm always like, oh, I say this. And I'm like, oh, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Like, you know, that's fucking crazy.
I never thought about that. That's cool. Tell me more, but you know.
Yeah, I can only think about a fucking half hour of this, you know?
Yeah. We can go have coffee. You can tell me all about that.
I got time.
Yeah. Would you write a testimonial?
Yeah. I need a referral. Yeah. But yeah, man. And it's also, I think also like not being able to just, you know, I think a lot of it, the reason we create this anxiety and we create this whole thing is because I think, again, like we create this, by this time I want to have this, and by that time I want to have that, and by, you know what I mean? And like, says who?
Yeah. So,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What?
we don't know. I mean,
The fuck?
everybody
it's your
that-
game. You're
yeah.
playing it how you want to play it.
Yeah, and you know, what's crazy, if you see over the course of the 9 years I've been here, I've seen people grow and seen people like really move from one level to the other. But then you think about it and you're like, dude, we were auditioning for commercials, what, 5-6 years ago? And then now you got a good show and like, cool, and that's great. But people don't realize that shit.
Yeah,
They'll just be
no.
like, where the fuck this guy come? Oh, wow,
For real.
overnight success, you know? It's like,
It's like,
nah,
dude, I
man.
was eating a mountain of dicks before this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's as awful as it sounds.
yeah, exactly, man. That's so funny.
Yeah, man. We're about 43 minutes. Let's go into some hot seat questions. All right, bro. We're gonna go to some motherfucking hot seat questions. Cause I need to get here soon. What makes you feel happiest at this point in your life?
Peace and quiet makes me feel very happy because it's, and I say
Do you think that comes from like being in the service industry so long?
service industry and just hustling and blah blah blah.
Because it's loud in there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the
Like,
moment, what makes me happy right now is like when there's those moments of zen where you're just like, you finally have that opportunity after a long ass day, you relax,
deep breath.
you have a drink if you want or not, or whatever. Just
You're
chill.
a mezcal guy, right?
I'm
You
a
fucking
mezcal
love
guy. Oh yeah.
What is the okay? What's the difference of mezcal than anything else?
So the biggest thing is it's also an agave spirit, a distilled agave spirit. So the
That's how it
difference,
starts.
yeah. But the thing with mezcal is it can be different types of agave. So, and also, I think with tequila, there's only 6 states at the moment, or there could be more now, that are able to produce tequila.
I thought it was
But-
only if it came from like Tequila, Mexico.
No, there's different states that it can be made in, and
See?
basically the whole thing about it is like
Whole life's a lie.
with tequila, it's usually 100% Blue Weber agave. Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
If it's a mixto
Blue
tequila,
agave.
that means it's mixed tequila and they add sugars and additives and bullshit, and you don't want that. But if you get 100% Blue Weber agave,
I mean, you might want that if you want that cheap shit.
yeah. It's all good. I love college. It's very fun. Yeah, exactly. So with the 100% Blue Weber agave, you have tequila and so forth. With mezcal, it can be made in a lot of places. I've even had mezcal from Jalisco.
So it's kind of like the same thing as tequila, right?
But the difference is that they, during the process of distillation right before, they actually cook the agave. So like, even though with tequila they do cook them in ovens and stuff, this is a different type of cooking. It's
put pimienta on
mostly
this
coal in a like kind of like a ditch looking thing, but I mean that can vary as well. But so
So it gives it a
that
different
cooking
taste?
gives it a smokiness to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then on top of that, if you know what kind of agave type you like, the agave is part of the lily family, so it's like a plant that has so many different species and types. And so basically, if you say start being like, you know what, the Textate is my favorite type of agave, then you can be like, okay, cool. Who makes the Textate? These kind of brands or distilleries. Okay, cool. What kind of distillation process? One copper pot still, cool. So you start realizing how the flavor gets affected in the
Damn.
distillation process.
Dude, you
Then
know
the
your
agave, somewhat. And then after that, you get to find what you like. So with me, the Textate is one of my favorite agaves, but also like, you know, they're
Dude,
just
you know what you should do? It's the game, bro.
Huh.
You make your own fucking mezcal.
I will someday.
Bro, that's the game. Start with one, bro. Make it
Yeah.
in your kitchen or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cook some fucking...
I know, right?
Oh, my mom's calling me. I haven't talked to my mom in a long time.
Mijo,
Shit.
how are you
I'll call her
doing?
a little... This is an old picture. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done? Single dumbest thing.
Single dumbest thing. I don't know.
Did
if
you
I wanna
party
tell-
hard?
Tell embarrassing stories. Yeah, you know what? I didn't start partying until I worked in the service industry when I was 21. I didn't drink until I was...
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did not drink
That's
until I was
good.
21.
Good willpower.
I'll do the dumbest thing, and I'll make it a quick story. When I was in college, I went to USD. I played football 2 years, and I got paired up with this dude, and we shared our
what position
bunk
did you
beds
play?
together. Corner.
All right.
Small
So
and
you're pretty good.
fast. Yeah. Until I didn't really play, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So my best friend at the time when I was in college, I was a poor kid, so I didn't have a computer,
Ah.
and he would let me use his computer.
Also, computers were expensive as fuck
Yeah,
back then.
exactly.
So now they're so much more
So
accessible.
my buddy Travis, we'd live in bunk beds. He let me use the computer, and he would be like, "There's only one rule I have. Please, please, please don't eat next to my computer because I don't want anything to happen to it." But like in a nice way. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, bro. Okay, cool." So one day I decided, I always ate cereal next to it. I drank. I did a bunch of shit, whatever. So then one day, while Travis was like in the living room watching TV, I fucking spilled a bowl of cereal all over his computer. And it just turned off. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm like crying because I'm like, oh my God, I got to pay for this $3,000 computer. And then my parents are going to kill me and they send me work and I'm going to drop out of college because I have to pay for this computer. I'm a shit.
That would be a failure.
I'm blow drying the computer. It still doesn't work. I'm trying to get the milk out. I'm like doing everything I can. All of a sudden I run back and finally like Travis is just still watching TV. And I'm like right behind him holding his TV. He's just like, hey, what are you doing, man? I was like, oh, nothing, just, I was on the computer. He's like, oh, is it cool if I use it in a second? I was like, yeah, man. I mean, it's your computer. You can use it all the time. Just make sure you don't eat, huh? Yeah. Put the computer down. And like right as I open it and like take the last Cocoa Krispies or whatever it was out of there.
Count Chocula.
Travis comes in. He played cornerback safety for our school, so he's a little bit bigger than me. And he's like, all right. It was like I jump on my bed. I'm scared. I'm in the fetal position, just staring at him. He opens up his computer and he presses the button and it turns on and just like works miraculously. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, there is a God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And coincidentally, like, it wasn't until like 8 years after that, he went to San Francisco, his computer got stolen, and he's like, dude, someone jacked my computer out of my car, man, fucking San Francisco. And I was like, oh, yeah. You want to hear a funny story about that computer, bro?
You told him?
Yeah, I ended up telling him, and he hated me for it. And
hey, but it worked.
Yeah,
so
yeah. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever done.
Hey, yo, if there is, if you had doubts, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I've done a lot more stupid shit than that, but that's like,
we're trying to, PG-13.
That's a PG story there.
You got that Netflix money coming. We don't want to,
Exactly.
How fat are you willing to get for a role?
I mean, fuck it, whatever. Christian Bale can do it. I can do it too.
For real, Christian Bale look crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I get fat too.
I'm willing to get fat. Fuck yeah.
That's pretty easy, right? Yeah, I've been fat. I was pretty thick. I wasn't fat, but I was thick.
I've gone through a period of being heavier than I should be.
Yeah. Where do you gain your weight at?
Mostly stomach area.
Yeah, same.
For the most part.
For me, it's like love handles.
And you can see it in my face.
Yeah,
of course.
same. I grow it on my face, and I get like love handles and shit. I get shit up dad bod and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, but fuck it. I'll do that shit.
Yeah, I'm working out though. Dude, I'm as consistent as I can be.
Yeah, man.
It's a motherfucker.
Good.
Well, boom. We're about an hour in. We usually, I always usually like to ask people to what would you leave people off with as a message or what it doesn't have to be anything in particular. You can fucking whatever it may be. But if there's anything you want to leave the people off with,
yeah. I mean, coming from a fighter standpoint, because I love boxing and love all this stuff.
Oh, really? I got Triple G here. I got Canelo here.
Dude, that's awesome,
Ali,
man.
Khabib, GSP.
Yeah, it's like always keep fighting. Stay hungry.
Yeah.
Stay hungry, keep fighting, and hard work and dedication, man. That's all it is. It's and focus and balance too. Because
balance is one of the focus and balance. I think that's that's
good.
good.
I'll leave that one because it's and don't ever expect anything. Like we need to work for what we get. Don't expect it. It'll come to you if you work hard. But don't ever expect it. Don't think you deserve anything. We all will get what's coming for us as long as we stay focused and do that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you reach whatever level you want to, then continue to inspire and do that.
Yeah.
But I guess I would leave with focus and balance is a good one.
I love that, dude. Focus is because it sounds so simple, dude. But focus, it's funny because I don't know if you remember Dwayne Johnson used to do his videos where he used to just be in the gym yelling, "Focus!"
Oh
shit! Doing shrugs and shit. You remember that?
No.
Focus! And he'd yell at people and shit in the gym just to fuck with people. Be like, "Focus!" And he'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I gotta look that shit up. That's funny.
When he first got on Instagram, he used to do that. And shout out to The Rock. And I'm like, it's funny. I would laugh at that, but especially in our line of work, dude. Focus, when you're living in an imaginary world, essentially what we're doing, we get paid to do. Yeah. You have to be so focused, and you have to see that world so clearly.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also to be able to balance that with the real world.
Yeah, man. I agree. And within
any industry,
within the other side, actually, all mental health is a big thing, and especially working in restaurants and bars for a long time is I've seen that take a toll on people. There's alcoholism, drugs, and all that. But I mean, that's for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that'll find you whether you're in this town or in
town. So if you focus, keep a balance, don't do shit you shouldn't do, and be smart, man. Because like we're in a business where it's like our bodies are important.
Yeah.
How we look is important. You got to take care of yourself. And
Can't be walking in looking like Tales from the Crypt. You know?
Yeah. Because I mean, God bless my mom's genes and my dad's genes, but you know.
You got that strong beard, bro.
Yeah.
You know, this patchy ass work.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, boom. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for having
I
me.
appreciate this, man. This is great. Episode 82, ladies and gents.
82.
Boom. What's your social?
If you can find me on Instagram. It's at Bayardo D, Bayardo, and then the letter D.
Bayardo D.
Yeah, Bayardo D.
Bayardo D. Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah, of course, man.
Episode 82. You guys heard it here first. What else? I think that's it.
Yeah. Drink mezcal.
Yeah, drink mezcal if you're over 21.
Yes. Drink responsibly.
All right, y'all. See you next week. Bye.